What if I told you that the greatest revolution in human history didn't begin with swords or kings or armies, but with fear? In the shadows of an empire, a small group of men and women were hiding. They were not warriors. They had no influence, no power, no plan, only a promise, and a name the world wanted to erase. They were hunted. Their leader had just been executed in public, nailed to a Roman cross, and now they were next. But something happened. Something that defies logic, history, and every empire that ever tried to silence it. A voice, a final command, a promise etched into the soul of time. You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses to the ends of the earth. Acts 1:8. That single sentence sparked a chain reaction so unstoppable that not even Rome, not even death could contain it. This is not just a story. It's not just ancient text. This is a divine conspiracy, a supernatural uprising, a blueprint for spiritual revolution. You've heard of the book of Acts, but not like this, not through the eyes of fear turned to fire, not through the blood that became seed, not through the prisoners who preached to kings. Tonight, you're not just going to hear the story, you're going to enter it, because this book was never finished. And if it was never finished, then maybe the next chapter is waiting for you. Now let me take you to where it all began. Part 1, the last words of Jesus, a mission ignites. They stood on the hill, eyes lifted to the sky. The wind whispered through the olive trees. Dust curled beneath their sandals. The sun, heavy in the sky, lit their faces. 12 faces marked by confusion, exhaustion, and something else, a strange, reluctant hope. This was not how it was supposed to end. Just weeks before, they had watched everything fall apart. The man they had followed for 3 years, the man who healed the sick, walked on water, defied empires with a whisper, had been arrested like a criminal, humiliated, tortured, crucified. They had fled. Some had denied even knowing him. But now, he was here, alive, not as a ghost, not as a legend, resurrected, real, and standing before them one final time. They didn't know what to say. Would he stay now? Would he restore the kingdom of Israel? Would he finally destroy Rome? Their voices cracked with longing. Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? But his answer was not what they expected. It is not for you to know the times or dates the Father has set. He didn't give them a timeline. He didn't give them an army. He gave them a promise. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, and in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. And with that, he was gone, lifted before their eyes, into the clouds, into heaven. Silence. No more miracles, no more parables, no more Jesus in the flesh, just the sky, and a command echoing in their bones. Now imagine being there. What would you feel? Confusion? Awe? Or the crushing weight of what he just said? Go into all the world, preach to the ends of the earth? They were fishermen, tax collectors, betrayers and doubters, and they were being sent with no temple, no army, no wealth, only a word. But that word was burning, because when Jesus spoke, it wasn't suggestion, it was ignition. No one writes history like this. No empire begins with 12 fugitives staring into the clouds. No government is founded on a whisper and a prayer. But this wasn't about human power. This was about something coming, something they had never seen before, something that would take ordinary people and transform them into unstoppable witnesses. But first, they had to wait. Do not leave Jerusalem, he told them, but wait for the gift my Father promised. So they waited, in a room, behind locked doors, hearts pounding, not knowing what to expect. They had seen death. Now they were waiting for fire. Do you know what it feels like to be on the edge of something, but not know what? They didn't have a script. They didn't have a timeline. They just had a memory of a man walking out of a tomb and a promise that he would send power. Not political power, not military power, something from another realm. That tension between fear and expectation was almost unbearable. They were fugitives, outlaws. Any moment the temple guard could burst through the door and drag them away. But still, they waited. This wasn't passive waiting. It was pregnant, full of pressure, of anticipation. The old world had ended. The new one had not yet begun. And then, when the moment was right, heaven would interrupt history once again. This was the moment between testaments, the space between breath in and breath out, between a cross and a crown. It is here that the book of Acts truly begins, not with action, but with expectation, not with noise, but with silence, and one holy instruction: wait until the fire falls. Because the mission of Jesus wasn't finished when he rose, it ignited when he ascended. His leaving wasn't the end, it was the beginning of the transfer of divine power. The King had returned to heaven,